In this video we take a look at Shion Moriyuki from Keyaki's Seductive Beasts Fruit series. This is one of those special figures that we don't see a lot of. This 1/12 furry action figure is the first in the line. She is a wolf girl and might have some big and interesting reasons for you to grab her. It's a little bit worrying because if she's good you might have to grab the whole line. So far there are 4 Keyaki girls. Besides Shion there is a panda, there's a goat, and there's a cat. If you are interested, you can find these figures as well as other stuff on Bombasby, who kindly sent this over for a review. I'll have links below. Her box is pretty large. It feels like it's meant to be kind of a premium and fancy figure, so let's see if that's the case. Getting her out of the box, there is a top tray with a lid, and there's a bottom one containing the stand and stuff. Here Shion is. First impressions, she certainly does feel premium. This was definitely a very intentional design and manufacturing choice. It's kinda hard to keep your hands off of her. Not in a weird way, mind you. She's got a simple design, but she's just really nice to touch. The plastic feels really smooth. It's not exactly soft, but feels soft. Honestly, I have no idea what kind of plastic this is. People have mentioned it might be vinyl, kind of like Funko Pops, but I also don't have anything like that to compare. It's not like these silicone bodies or anything. It's not actually squishy, just feels really smooth. Here's what she's made of in case you have any suggestions of what the plastic is. So she's got 3 different materials on her. Her ears and tail are flocked, so they're a bit fuzzy. Pretty interesting, I guess it makes her feel a bit more premium. However, arguably one of the most important aspects of her, the hair, is a very regular feeling plastic. If I'm being honest, it might even feel a little bit cheap. Bit of a shame because, what's worse, there doesn't seem to be any shading in the hair. The left strand at the front is also a little bit weird and kind of floaty. The same regular plastic is also used on the kneecap and the upper furry thigh. However, the rest of the body does feel nice and is that really smooth plastic that we mentioned. One more kind of negative, and it's probably just QC, which is really annoying because even though she has these little adorable pink toe bean feety weeties, that's weird. She absolutely can balance, and I know she can because I'm good at balancing. Unfortunately, the left knee for me is super loose and she just flocking buckles. The right is fine though, nice and tight. Maybe I'll find a way to tighten up the left one as well. But yeah, overall I think figure is fine. More of a niche design, I guess, but still good nonetheless. For accessories, let's be honest, she doesn't actually come with a lot. The box is way too big for this amount of stuff. And sure, it looks good, but since it's kind of empty, it feels like you don't really get a lot for your money. She's got 3 faces total. She has her default neutral kind of shy face. The mouth does have a little line on it. She has an angry, annoyed, growling type face. It's a bit hard to see the mouth on this as there isn't a line. Not sure if this is a QC thing or if they just decided to leave it off. And we have one of those kind of faces. Kind of a must-have for a figure like this, right? No movable eyes unfortunately, however, they do look good. Unfortunately, one other thing is that the front hair and the faceplates don't have the best fitment, and they can be a little bit loose. She has 2 sets of ears. She's got the default ears which are pointed up, and she's got a set of ears which are kind of flopped down. There is no ear articulation, but I guess it's fine, we do have some options. You can alternate them, or you can remove them altogether. It's a little bit weird, but I guess you can do it. The ears aren't loose per se, however they could fit a little bit better, I think. She does have a stand and stuff, of course. The tail is pretty interesting, so besides being flocked, it has 2 hidden holes. There are tufts of fur which you can remove. This allows you to plug the stand in whether you have the tail up or whether you have the tail down. I'd say this is a pretty thoughtful design. Helps to keep the back clean as well. There are 2 stand arms with different heights. The stand is pretty sturdy, and if you wanted a more minimal look, you can just kind of use it without the base. This is how I usually display my Nendos as well. But yeah, I really do wish she could stand properly though. She has a bunch of hands as well. She's got her default relaxed pair. She's got big open splayed out hands. She's got kind of grabby hands. And she's got kind of enclosed gesture hands with a hole that you can't really use to hold anything. She has a collar and leash. So the head is made to be removed for the collar. Should be able to swap heads easy enough if that's something you want to do. Say what you will, I think this accessory is pretty versatile. She also has a little doggy bowl for feeding time and stuff. Here's a quick look at the instructions. Pretty straightforward stuff. And there is a spare wrist joint. So that is pretty much it for accessories. By the way, I do have an alt channel where I do unboxings and first impressions and stuff now. Just kind of sneak peeks and more casual stuff. If you are interested, that'll be at No Good Figures DX. For this kind of anthro Kemo design, let's see how articulation is. Her head turns well. Nods are okay. She has 3 back strands which can move, which is pretty cool. Although honestly, she can't really look up that much, so it's not really that useful. Her ears once again don't move. Arm movement is pretty smooth and have good range. Forward reach is okay. Elbows bend all the way. She has a bicep rotation. And wrists move well. Her torso tilts. Bends up decently enough. Can only tilt down a little bit. Tail moves up and down and can swivel around. She does have drop down legs, but I can't really tell if they're regular or drop down half the time. Range is okay, she splits to the side like this. She can kind of do a front and back split. Her knees bend. The furry bit does get in the way. She has thigh rotation, and feeties move like this. For height, she's about 16 centimeters or 6.25 inches. You can deduct a centimeter without the ears. So overall, for Keyaki's first figure, she's not too bad. The super smooth material does help to make a simple design feel much more premium. Honestly, the flocked ears and tail probably could have been the same material. And accessories are decent, but the box could have been more compact. Again, hair and the QC in the knees could be improved. But if you don't mind her special characteristics too much, she doesn't actually look too out of place with most other stuff. I think quality from stuff like Sushing or Ladotoys is just a little bit better. Anyway, please do let me know your thoughts on her. Check out the links below for more figures and stuff. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.